If you tell yourself you're just killing time, pause for a second. Because people who can stop scrolling do not need to explain it to themselves. The moment you hear your own mind say, "It's not a big deal," the habit is already in control. At some point, scrolling stopped being entertainment. It became automatic. Your thumb moves before you decide to move it. One app turns into another, then another. And when you finally look up, time feels thinner than it should. Like something quietly slipped away while you were not watching. This is not a willpower problem. It is a psychological loop. Here is the part most people miss. You are not scrolling because you are bored. You are scrolling because your brain is avoiding something small, quiet, and uncomfortable. Something that only shows up when everything slows down and there is nothing left to distract you. Scrolling works because it offers endless beginnings without endings. Every swipe resets anticipation, not satisfaction. Anticipation. Your brain does not get rewarded when it finds something interesting. It gets rewarded when it thinks, maybe the next one will be. That is why the next post always feels more important than the one you are on. Your brain is not chasing content. It is chasing the promise of content. Psychologists call this variable reward conditioning. It is the same loop used in slot machines. Most pulls give you nothing. But every once in a while, something hits. And your brain learns a simple rule very quickly. Do not stop. The next one could be it. This is where it gets uncomfortable. People who scroll too much are usually not chasing pleasure. They are postponing discomfort. Silence gives your thoughts room to speak. Scrolling keeps them quiet. The moment you stop, something starts to surface. A thought you have been pushing aside, a feeling you did not finish processing, a subtle sense that something in your life is unresolved. Scrolling keeps that door closed just long enough to feel okay. That is why you can scroll even when you are tired, even when you are not enjoying it, even when your eyes burn and your neck hurts. Your brain is not looking for stimulation. It is looking for relief. It is saying, just keep going a little longer. If this already feels a little too accurate, this channel is probably for you. There is another layer happening beneath this, and it explains why stopping feels hardest at night. Your brain has a limited supply of self-control. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. Every choice you make during the day quietly drains that supply. By the evening, your mental brakes are weak. Your brain wants something effortless, passive, safe. Scrolling offers all of that. No decisions, no commitment, no emotional risk, just motion, just one more. Over time, your brain learns a dangerous association. Stillness starts to feel uncomfortable. Motion starts to feel calming. So when nothing is happening, your mind feels restless, almost itchy, like something is missing and you need to find it immediately. That feeling is not boredom. It is withdrawal from constant input. This is usually where people turn on themselves. They call it laziness. They call it addiction. But that misses the point. Your brain adapted to the environment you trained it in. It learned that scrolling equals relief and silence equals discomfort. There is a quiet cost to this loop that most people never name. It is not just lost time. It is a slow disconnection from your own life. When you scroll too much, your attention lives everywhere except where you are. Your body is present, but your mind is always one swipe ahead. One more video, one more post, one more distraction standing between you and yourself. Over time, this creates a strange feeling. You are busy, but unfulfilled, stimulated, but restless. You consume constantly, yet nothing really lands. It feels like you are watching life instead of participating in it. This is where identity starts to shift. Your brain begins to associate meaning with consumption instead of creation, observation instead of action. You start feeling productive without actually moving your life forward. And that illusion is powerful. Psychologists call this passive engagement. Your brain is active, but your agency is not. You feel occupied without feeling accomplished, safe without feeling grounded. That is why after long scrolling sessions, people often feel empty instead of relaxed. You are mentally busy, but emotionally untouched. There is also something else happening beneath the surface. Every time you scroll to avoid discomfort, your brain learns this feeling is dangerous. Avoid it next time. So the discomfort gets stronger, not weaker. Thoughts become louder. Emotions feel heavier. Silence starts to feel threatening. Eventually, you reach a point where being alone with your thoughts feels unbearable. Not because your thoughts are bad, but because you have trained yourself not to sit with them. This is not weakness. It is conditioning. And here is the uncomfortable truth. The more you scroll to escape yourself, the more unfamiliar you become to yourself. You lose track of what you actually want, what you actually feel, what you actually need. People often describe this as feeling numb or disconnected, but that is not quite right. It is more like being overstimulated and undernourished at the same time. Your mind is full, your inner life is empty. But this loop is not permanent. What breaks it is not deleting apps or forcing discipline. That usually backfires. What changes things is noticing the moment before you scroll. The moment your brain says, "I don't want to feel this." That pause is powerful, because underneath the urge to scroll is usually something simple and human. Loneliness, fatigue, uncertainty, the need for reassurance, the need to feel okay for just a second. Scrolling is not the problem. It is the signal. When you start responding to that signal instead of drowning it out, something shifts. Silence becomes less threatening. Stillness feels less empty. You begin to tolerate being with yourself again. Not perfectly, not instantly, but honestly. And here is the part most people do not expect. When the loop weakens, boredom returns. Real boredom, the kind that feels uncomfortable at first. But boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is where desire shows up, where clarity forms, where direction begins. Scrolling numbs boredom. Stillness transforms it. This is why people who reduce scrolling often feel restless before they feel better. Their mind is waking up, relearning how to be present without constant input. If this video felt uncomfortably accurate, that is not coincidence. It means your brain recognizes the pattern. And recognition is always the first crack in the loop. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are responding exactly as a human brain does in an environment designed to hijack attention. The difference is this. Once you see the loop, it stops owning you the same way. And if this made you notice something you had not named before, the next video will take this even further. Because this scrolling loop connects to a deeper pattern most people never realize they are living inside.